This is Me Before Mom, the podcast that helps moms stay connected to themselves while doing the most important job they'll ever have. And I'm your host, Bert Anderson. Hey, this is Bert Anderson, and you are listening to Me Before Mom. Today, we're going to be talking about finding time to exercise. So when I say that, you are either getting ready to turn this podcast off right now, but I'm going to say don't do that. Don't. Just hear me out. Just sit with me for a little bit. Finding time to exercise. So I'm not going to make this boring, and I'm going to be really honest with you guys. I have had a very up and down relationship with exercise and being active for as long as I can remember. Growing up, I was a competitive swimmer, like super serious. The problem with that is you don't always have access to a pool as an adult. And I'm not lying. I'm very serious. I live in Minnesota, so it's not like I can have a pool in my backyard to easily access, especially in the dead of winter, and I don't have a pool in my backyard anyway. So I found myself really struggling with the idea of knowing that I needed to exercise because that's what everybody around me was doing. And I went to a local, smaller school, local in the Twin Cities, and everybody there ran. Everyone and their mother was a runner. But I'm not a runner. I hate running. I hate running so much. I really kind of feel like the only reason why you should be running is if zombies are chasing you or somebody else is chasing you. Otherwise, there's no point. Again, if you're ready to turn this off now because I've offended you because you are a runner, just ignore me. Ignore that part, actually. Listen to the rest. I always have had this kind of like, just feeling like, I needed to work out. And then when I became pregnant with my son, I gained like 70 pounds, my first pregnancy. And then after that, then I understood why doctors had been saying, set up a habit to exercise. You need to set up a habit to exercise. And at the time that I found myself in that space where I was, had this baby in November, it was now the summertime. I was in a space where I wanted to exercise, but it just became too big of a task to even consider at all. But here I am today. And I'm talking to you, and I work out like every single day. And you know what? I actually like it. It's not something that I dread. It's become part of my routine, and it's something that I enjoy. So we're going to talk about how I've gotten to that place because my son is, he'll be 10 years old in November. So it has taken me, I would say 8 years to get to that point. So this isn't something that just happened overnight. I guess you could say that I'm a workout convert now. So finding times to exercise. I think that number one, you need to understand what you enjoy doing. Like, what do you like to do? Like I said, I tried the running thing and it always lasted for like 2 days, to be honest. I just really hated running, and I tried the Couch to 5K programs, and those are great programs if you like them. I can find every excuse in the book to not exercise, especially if I'm doing it by myself. So I think you need to realize and understand what kinds of activities you actually enjoy. And so for me, I realized that a big part of working out that I enjoy is the community aspect and the socializing that I get in it. I'm a really social person. I know, really surprising. But if I have a community, if I have a class of people that I am doing an activity with, it is 10 times easier for me to go and work out because I know that there are people there, and it's not even an accountability thing for me. It's fun. Sometimes I work super hard, and sometimes I'm the snarky one in the back of the room who's making comments, and actually that happens more often than not. But it's fun. And exercising, it should be fun. If you are hating what you're doing, don't do it anymore. You need to find a different exercise. So I tried What did I try? I tried home videos, Jillian Michaels videos. Hated every single minute of it because I was by myself. I tried, the kickboxing and things like that. And I even joined a few like self-workout support groups where you had to take pictures of your sweaty selfie. But there was like, I was missing that community aspect of it. And I wish that I had figured out before 2 years ago, which is really when I started to work out on a regular basis, how important it was that I listened to my, just kind of like my desires, and understood that going and working out with friends, well, they become your friends, was more enjoyable than being part of an online community and sharing my sweaty selfie. But that's not to say that that doesn't work for some people, because there are some people who really love working out by themselves, and that's a good thing. So I think if you're thinking about getting into the workout thing, you need to really know yourself. What do you enjoy? If you're an introvert and you like being alone, working out by yourself is probably something you're going to enjoy because it's going to give you an opportunity to be by yourself. A lot of runners that I know really enjoy that time because it's just them and their thoughts, and they're able to walk or run and just think, as moms, like I never understood the necessity of silence and not talking to people until I became a mother. Like I hated being alone. Do you remember that Friends episode when I think it's Monica challenges Rachel to go and have lunch by herself because she won't ever do anything by herself? I remember when I first saw that episode, it was before kids, and I think I was in college, and I was like, oh my goodness, I totally relate to Rachel. Like, I do not like doing things by myself. Why would you do anything by yourself? Like, that's not fun. Now that I'm a mom, you better believe I'm by myself. Like, if I have the opportunity to go and sit in a coffee shop and not even work, just sit and be, I'm going to do it. For sure. Definitely going to do it. I'm going to take anybody up on the chance to go shopping by myself, which I never did before. Going to the bathroom by myself, like in a restaurant. Yeah, totally am going to do that as well. And I didn't before. So for some of my friends who are avid runners, or even people who like to, do home videos by themselves, I mean, that is something that they really enjoy. It's super fun to them. Because they are like Monica on Friends. And when you become a mom, you're more apt to enjoy being alone and the silence that comes with that. So you have to know who you are. I feel like as I've been, talking with you guys, and we've kind of had these like little confessionals, and you've been listening to me, what I've really been learning and understanding is how important it is to know yourself and to try to like tune out the outside influences and just really listen to that inner voice that says, I like this or I don't like this. And once you lose that, that's when you find yourself not knowing who you are. You don't know what you want, and you're ultimately unhappy, in my opinion. Take it or leave it. So think about what you guys really like. For me, it's being in a class with people. And then the other thing, because I know if you have never exercised a day in your life, you might be thinking, okay, but I chase toddlers all day long. I chase my toddler. What I'm going to challenge you to do is that's just being active, like being busy. That is not being purposeful. So we were designed to move. On Instagram, if you use the hashtag #MoveYourDNA, hashtag #MoveYourDNA, you will find it's a whole movement out there, and it's based on just moving. Move your DNA in a purposeful way. So be purposeful about it. A lot of it, I think it's actually a yoga movement. So you'll see lots of yoga poses and pictures, and you'll see pictures of people walking barefoot, because that's another thing. Like when you think about it, we weren't designed to live this very sedentary lifestyle that our culture just kind of has adapted. itself too. Like there are a lot of problems that come with sitting. Like I kind of have like a little bit of a hump on my upper back, and it's from sitting at a computer writing at a desk, from like, rolling my shoulders forward. So I have to think like, okay, I don't want to have a hump back. I need to, and I'm doing it right now. You can just imagine that I'm rolling my shoulders back because I am. But move your DNA purposely. It doesn't need to, you don't need to decide after you listen to this that, you've never done an ounce of exercise, like really trying to exercise in your life, and now you're going to go join CrossFit. If you want to do that, that's great. You totally can do that. Please don't kill yourself trying to do that in the process. But just go out and move. Set a time with yourself to go and move. Just move your DNA in a purposeful way. So some ways that might work for you is going for a walk with a friend. If you have young children and you are able to get away, I would highly recommend being able to do that in the morning. Or meet a friend. I used to walk with one of my neighbors at 6:30 in the morning. And I swear she was a speed walker. She like walked really, really fast. And there were times that we would be walking and be like, Martina, like slow down. I cannot keep up with you. She was like the same height as me too. So I have no idea how she walked so fast. She walked with purpose. She was purposely moving. And me, I was like on a stroll or something. I don't know what was going on. But move, just move. I think it's more fun with friends. So that's what I do. So that's what I'm always going to gear towards, is saying, hey, find a friend and go and move together. Maybe, if you are thinking, hey, maybe I want to do the Couch to 5K program. It is a really good program. If you are thinking about like starting to run, it's an excellent way to kind of get you started running, because there are many different apps and out there, and they kind of coach you through how to run a 5K. So maybe you should, sign up with a group of friends and sign up for a 5K. Think about it. It's not a bad idea. Look into group classes. And if you want, you can bring your kids into it. There are actually, when I was working out at home, it was a really good experience for my kids to see me being active, and they always wanted to do it with me. And there is nothing cuter than kids, small children, trying to work out with you and do something like a burpee, which is a horrendous exercise. If you've never heard of it, that is just, I don't know why they call it burpees, because they make you feel like you're going to throw up. I hate them with every fiber of my being. But Google it. Actually, Google burpees, like Google children doing burpees. It's a very adorable thing. You should look it up. You'll see. But work out with your kids. Show your kids that you're working, this is how we work out, and this is what we do, and this is how we move our body purposely. My kids got to the point where my workout time is definitely my own, and I don't really want to share it with my children. So I don't share it with my children. That's just the way I am. But I have friends who really enjoy going out, and I have a friend who will run and her son will ride his bike, and it's a really fun time for them to bond. I am a little more selfish when it comes to my time. Incorporate your kids if that makes it easier. I have found for myself, the key is I found a gym that offered group fitness classes, and I got up at the crack of dawn. That is what worked for me. That has been kind of my ace in the hole, is getting up first thing in the morning, because then I don't have anything like being held over my head that I have to go do. I used to go and work out at 5 a.m. every day, and I was doing that for like the longest time. I would say it was about not an hour. It was like a year and a half. I was going and getting up at like 4:30, and then I discovered the 6 a.m. class. And that was just it's amazing what 1 hour of sleep will do to your psyche. It's just a beautiful thing. So every day, Monday, Tuesday, I take Wednesdays off, Thursday and Friday. I go and I work out for an hour at 6 a.m. in the morning. And it's a lot of fun. And I really enjoy it. And there's rarely a time that I miss. And it's not because I'm like this diehard, yay, I've got to go work out. It's really because I enjoy it. So life is too short for you to kill yourself doing something that you don't enjoy. And there are so many things as moms that we don't enjoy. I don't know a mom who said, yeah, I love changing diapers. Like there are just tons of things that we have to do that I feel like when we get that opportunity to choose to do something, we should enjoy it. So you need to find a way to be purposely active. And I hope you guys are understanding the difference between being busy and like on your feet all day in the kitchen, cooking, chasing kids, and taking that time to be purposely active. Because there's a big difference in that. Because you're not actually, if you're not thinking about moving, are you really moving? You know what I mean? If you are not actively moving your DNA and you are just going through the motions of life, it's mindless, and it's mindless. I mean, that's what it is. The goal that you should have when you are trying to be purposefully active is to elevate your heart rate a little bit so that you can carry on you should be able to carry on a conversation with somebody, but you should be a little bit out of breath. You shouldn't be able to sit and do a 20-minute podcast talking nonstop. You should be panting a little bit. So that should be your goal. You should be trying to move your body purposely to that point 3 times a week. So for the World Health Organization, I think the recommendations now is like 150 minutes of active exercise for a week. And active exercise means your heart rate is elevated, not like I'm going to die. You can get to that point, but if you're just starting out, don't do it because you'll never stick with a workout routine. If you decide to give it your all, like right out the gates, you're either going to get hurt or you're going to get frustrated, and then you are going to give up, and that just defeats the purpose of everything. But work out for yourself. Do it for yourself. I know a lot of people will, are like, I want to set a good example for my kids. And I said that too. And I do want to set a good example for my kids. But I also know that when I work out, my brain releases endorphins. Those are the happy hormones. And as somebody who struggles with depression, which I do, it has become essential in my, in the way that I manage my depression to work out. I need to have those natural endorphins in my brain to kind of get all that frustration out through working out, on a daily basis. And like I said, I don't work out. I don't work out on the weekends. That's for sure, because the weekends are meant to be fun. And I don't work out on Wednesdays unless I feel like it. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And are you wondering what I'm doing? I'll tell you what I do. Okay. So I have discovered that I love lifting heavy weights. I do. I never thought that I would be one of those women who would be like, yeah, I'm going to lift heavy weights. But I really enjoy the way it feels. And the way my gym works is they have like 3 different phases. So we're doing a full body workout every single time we work out. I'm not always like doing heavy lifting every single time. For example, today we are in our last phase, or the last week of what they call the explode phase, which means we are pushing ourselves to the max. So you are supposed to lift as heavy as you can for 5 reps. And then next week, we're doing a lot of balance and what they call unilateral work. So it's a lot of one-legged one-armed everything. I really hate it because I really suck at balance. Surprise, I'm not very good at balancing. And some of that has to do with, having 3 pregnancies. It really messes your core up and your sense of balance. Every time we have to do that phase, I find myself really struggling through it, but finding that it's something that I need to work on more and more. So I found that I really enjoy lifting weights. It's not CrossFit. Some may say it's similar, but it's not kind of that, CrossFit is a lot of is like pushing yourself all the time. And that's similar to what we do at my gym, but it's not as intense, which I like because I don't know if I could keep up with the intensity of CrossFit. I have mad respect for people who do CrossFit though, because it's awesome. But what I have found that I enjoy, and I would say that a lot of CrossFitters enjoy this about, doing CrossFit is the community aspect. It's where you meet people. It's what you do. There's something about getting sweaty and dirty together that is a very bonding experience. And so that is the number one thing for me is I have to go to a place. I have to work out in a place where other people are pushing me and I am being active with other people. That's just me. That's what I have found. But if you don't have the means to join a gym, there are other ways that you can achieve that community aspect. So you can go on walks with your friends. You can, have a little workout session in your house. A girlfriend of mine, actually, her name is Christine, and Christine and I used to get together and we would do these, it was called Bikini Body Mommy. I hated the name. But the thing that I really liked about this woman was she was a YouTuber and she offered all of these workouts and workout plans for free on YouTube. And they were challenging workouts. And Christine and I would get together and we'd alternate whose house we were going to be at. And we would do the workouts together. And it was a lot of fun. And I did the workout because Christine was there. I wouldn't have done it by myself. There were a lot of times that we couldn't get together. And I just slept in or came up with an excuse as to why I didn't have to do it. Can you tell I like to work out? I feel like I'm telling you I do. And I want you guys to see that too. If anything, after you're done listening to this, I want you to not be intimidated to either join a gym. Because here's another tip. You may think that everybody is looking at you, but nobody is looking at you because they're thinking about themselves. And that's the truth. The mirrors that are in a gym, it's not so that you can check out the other people and if people aren't looking at you, they're looking at themselves. Really, that's the truth. Nobody cares. And if you are brand new to working out, I think you will find that the people that you encounter in the gym, a lot of them are really kind and really excited to bring somebody new into their community. So there's nothing to be intimidated by. Nobody is going to look at you and be like, oh, she's fat. They're not going to look at you that way because there is a lot of respect that you kind of find in a gym atmosphere for people who are overweight, who are there and are trying. That's what matters. This isn't high school. We're not in high school anymore. You're not with the cheerleaders or sorry if you're a cheerleader. But the popular kids, that mentality, at least I have found for people my age, and your age, those of us who are parents, I feel like we look at life differently now that we are a parent. And it's not as catty as it was when we were growing up. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm not. I tend to kind of look at the world with rose-colored My Little Pony glasses and feel like we should all live in Equestria, which if you didn't know, that's where all the My Little Ponies live. Anyways, so find your community. Figure out how you like to work out and say to yourself, if it helps, because it helps me and it helped me, that I am purposely moving my DNA. Don't just be busy chasing your toddler while it is sometimes a good workout is not a workout. It's not. So be purposeful about it. Figure out a time of the day that works for you. Some people really love working out in the evenings, kind of as the day is done. I personally hate it because the last thing I want to do is work out at night. I would like to just sit on my butt and watch an adult TV show on Netflix that is not Paw Patrol, which is what is playing at my house with my 4-year-old all day long. Hence the reason why I listen to a copious amount of podcasts, so I don't have to listen to the Paw Patrol theme song or whatever. A few months ago, it was Shimmer and Shine. So find that time that works for you. Like I said, for me, I wake up early in the morning, and I've been doing it now. It'll be 2 years in the fall, and so I've been doing it long enough that it just fits. And it's part of my routine. And so it's not as hard to get out of bed. So my husband will, if he listens to this, which I don't think he will, he would tell you though that it takes me a really long time to get out of bed in the morning. And it does. I like to set like 7 alarms. So it's like, so I can just hit snooze 5 billion times. But I still get up and I still do it. And if I don't do it, I feel like I've not been productive that day. So find a time that works out for you. Maybe it's in the middle of the day, with your friends, at work, on your lunch break. Whenever it is, move your body, move your DNA for 30 minutes purposely to the point where you can have a conversation, but it's not exactly easy to have a conversation. And just be purposeful about it. Just make an appointment with yourself to make it happen. And I think you are going to find that as this becomes a routine, don't put a time limit on it. Just incorporate it into your life as just a natural thing that you do. So the goal is to keep it going, not to do a short burst of exercise. It's not a sprint. This is a lifelong thing. Moving your DNA is a lifelong thing. It should happen for the rest of your life. There are these 2 little old women who are at my gym. I think one of them, she's like 90 years old. It's impressive, but they meet each other every day at like 6:30. They are the cutest things, and they're so friendly, and they're like workout buddies, and they meet at the gym and they go and they lift weights together. It's so cute. And there's like this whole group of senior citizens actually that are at my gym, and they'd like look out for each other and they take care of each other. And that is what being active and moving your DNA purposefully can do. It can bring you a sense of community. And that is what I want for you to find. A way to multitask and form friendships and have a place where everybody knows your name and move your body at the same time so that you're strong and you're able to handle whatever life can throw at you. Remember that this is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So be kind to yourself when you mess up, because it's going to happen. And have the big perspective, the big picture in your mind at all time. So be kind to yourself. That's all we have. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to connect with me on bertmanderson.com, and please visit our website, matriarchdm.com, for all of the show notes and to hear other awesome podcasts.